What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris and I'm bringing you guys another episode of the massive skate park build. This is part 4 of the series, and I actually did film a part 4 a while ago, and the episode dragged on too long, and I can just explain to it what I did in about a minute. And so all we did, we built this kind of grass pad, and we used these ledges right here, and then we built it up so then it'd be kind of like not an A-frame but a gap. We used this rainbow rail, we used these regular rails, we just sunk that in. This is the picnic bench you guys have seen in my videos. And then what we did is we built this little stair set right here, this hump, and then we built this L-shaped ledge. And it's kind of more street-oriented park, and that's why, because I really didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. We built this rail, and I think that's pretty much it besides that A-frame. So we still have a lot of stuff we can do in the park. And yeah, I just skipped that episode just because, you know, I didn't want to. One, I didn't want to edit down. 2, I think the audio was bad. And 3, it just kind of dragged on. And yeah, we can just kind of get into the park building. So what I want to do for this part of the park is actually, you do kind of like, not a snake run thing, but I kind of want to countersink this into the ground a little bit. And so we're going to actually see if this will work. I'm not entirely sure if it will, but I'm going to remove some of this stuff right here, and we're going to lower this down. And then so I'm going to just use this mellow street ramp. I think, yeah, just a regular ramp, put this down in the ground. And I don't know why that's not merging together. Oh, I see. So it was slightly off, so we don't have to worry about it. And yeah, we'll just leave that for the way it is right now. And then I'm gonna place these ramps kind of creating almost like a ditch. I guess that'd be the best way to compare it together. Yeah, I think this would be really cool as a wall. And then what I'm gonna do is actually duplicate all these pieces right here that are the same length. We're gonna confirm it, and then what we're gonna do is basically just line it up so it'll countersink right there. And then I'm gonna duplicate this. So I am not using merge glitch, and I am going to be using a little bit of DLC for you guys, just because that's just the way, you know, that's the way I want to do it. And it's still pretty accessible, I think, for most of you, because I know when I started this park, a lot of you guys didn't voice your opinion that I should be using more not merge glitch, because my parks are getting boring, which I do agree. So yeah, we have this area right here, and I think that's kind of cool. And then what we can do then is create kind of like, leave it like that. And then we'll make these the corner pieces. And of course, it does not want to merge in, because that's how the game does not want to. Come on, there we go. So now we're going to use these corner pieces that should go. And then now you can kind of gap over the center. And I'm going to try to demonstrate that for you guys. And so here we'll get this speed going. Could kind of skate over this thing. I guess that was a ton of speed, but I don't know. I think it's something kind of cool and a little bit different. I know I said I was going to kind of make this the trainy part of the park, but I kind of like this. And then on this side over here, what I want to do is actually create just a little bit of a vert ramp. Well, not necessarily a vert ramp, but yeah. See, I wanted to make this sideways, but the problem is there's not that much room. So if we make it, it would have to be like in the end over here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna make a vert ramp, but I know it's gonna be kind of big, but I don't know, I still think it'd be kind of fun and interesting. So I'm gonna use this piece right here, and then we're not gonna have to add the top pieces to it, which will be nice. So I'm gonna raise these pieces up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna lower these pieces down just a little tad. So we're gonna cover up that white area. And there we go. So the one problem that we're going to have is this ugly, we're going to have to deal with that glitching problem, which does stink. So I'm going to just change it actually to the normal pad that I use. And I'm just going to kind of leave it the way it's glitching, because I won't really be able to fix it. But the problem is this thing's not wanting to connect. And then now the next thing in the final part will be kind of creating the top part of the ramp. And so what we can do then is I want to cover up that ugly, somebody responded in the comments of why it is that color, but I just want to cover it up. So this is more of a preference of that I just want to do. So if you guys want to do it your own way, feel free to. And so I'm going to just duplicate this. But now we got our vert ramp right there. And so what we can do then is build either like some type of roll-up ramp or something to get speed. And I think one thing that we can do is raise up this area in the corner. So I'm going to actually use steep ramps, I'm thinking. So we'll lower it to that height, and then I will probably use, because I want to extend this out a little bit more. And again, that won't go in, of course. This is extremely frustrating. So I'm going to use a smaller ramp, and again, just won't merge in because for whatever reason. So now I have that section off. We'll build the transition part on this side as well. So I'm going to use the steep ramp, build this down, and nope, don't want to merge. There we go. Thank you. And there we go. So now I have this top area on this side. So now we have a basic area. We have almost the majority of the park filled out. Now on this, what we can do then, which I think would just be something that'd be kind of cool, is we could either build like a long ledge right here, which I think that would be kind of interesting. I actually kind of like that a lot because you could skate it from the other side over here, but you can still skate over it, but you can, you know, grind whatever it may be. And then I'll probably be adding some rails or something like that on this because there'll just be some grass surrounding the park. So I'm going to do that very quick. And so then I'll probably just skip that. I'm literally just going to do some grass in the corner. So there we go. We added the grass on the outside of the park. And one thing I'm realizing, we're getting really low on terrain right now. And we do have, though, the final part of adding the stuff to the park. And then we'll kind of worry about the stuff on the outside. So I just wanted to do that to kind of get a feel of it. And also we do kind of need to add something surrounding the outside of the park. So what we can do now is either create some rails. We got some more street area. The next section we got to kind of build is, of course, this thing is glitching out, but that's fine. I don't know if this will work actually or not, but we can kind of build up this area. Since it is a little bit skinny, you can't really add much. What we can do is actually lower this down a little bit. And even though it might not be the best or the most perfect quarter pipe, maybe we can get something to work. So I'm gonna have these two pieces snap together, and we're gonna confirm it. And then I'm actually gonna turn off not collision but snapping, and then that works. So that's cool. Maybe what we can do is, even if it isn't perfect, or it might be even basically vert, I can just add a little bit of a transition though at the bottom. So this will be something that'll be, again, kind of a little bit ridiculous, but it might as well add something similar to, or just like it here. So that's pretty cool, and that'll skate awesome. And you can hit the street part of it, and then we still have this like rail here that I just ate. I'm not gonna do it on this side because I'm thinking about just adding a simple kind of just something maybe just to transfer in onto the ramp over here. So I might even make this actually a steep ramp. So we're gonna do a steep ramp and have this countersunk down to the ground a little bit. So we'll leave it like that. And then I'm also gonna use the small quarter pipe. And then what we can do is build the transition in right here. We could also add something right here, but maybe I'll just add, I don't know exactly what yet, but what we can try now is the transfer into the half pipe right here. So there we go. So now we have that. That's really awesome. And we could have done a mini ramp, but I don't know. I'm kind of like both the mini ramp and the half pipes, but just half pipes are just a lot more fun just to kind of do whatever with tricks and just test stuff out. So we have that, and then I'm gonna just duplicate this, and I could either add a ledge there, but what I'm gonna do is actually just build something right there to cover up that hole. So we have this area covered. Maybe what we can do, because I can't really merge that much stuff right here, so maybe that'll be something where we'll add some props, and we have this whole long area that we can mess around with. Then what we can add is some ledges, so that's what we're gonna do, and we can either use the street ledges, whatever you want. I'm gonna be doing these just because, I don't know, I like just the way they look. They look like they belong in a skate park. I guess that's a good answer for it, but I don't know, that's just the way I just like these. And I'm just gonna double check. I think they're at a good height though, but again, this merging stuff to this stuff where it won't snap together is getting real annoying. I know I've said that, but I'm like, even stuff that, you know, it's merged, I guess technically it's in 3 objects, but it's kind of frustrating having to work with that. So we're gonna copy this, or we're gonna duplicate it, and there we go. We'll move this in the center. And this sucks that it does have to be extended out, because that just doesn't look as nice, but that's just the way it has to go. And then what we'll do is add a rail over here, and we can do something a little bit different, maybe just a super long, not even a long flat rail, but we'll just do something in the ground like this. So there we go, we have some rails. And then over here in the corner, we kind of have a little awkward area. I don't know what else we can add really. in this section. Ooh, but we, you know, we could add in this section over here is this hip that I did for like the Christmas park. But again, this might not merge in, but it does, thankfully. I don't know exactly what else to add in the center, but we do need to add something over in this section. So what I think we can do is either a quarter pipe or something. It needs to be just continue the flow. I'd love to use this rolling, but maybe we can use the factory setting. I think that'd be something that'd be, yeah, why don't we just do that? We'll use the factory setting. I know this is kind of more of a basic park, but the nice thing about using these roll-ins, I don't know, they just look nice and you're able to do a lot with them because they do act kind of like quarter pipes as well if you know, hit it the right way. And so we're gonna actually move this, and there's kind of like a little gap right there, which is kind of cool. So I just want to build, or maybe we can even cover up this, well, move it over a little bit. So it'll be like right about there. Actually, we can just move these ones back. And there we go. So now we have that area, and maybe I can add one of these sec pads like right here. We'll angle it down a little bit, and there we go. It's basically going to be a little vert ramp there. And on this side, what we can do is I can copy, we'll confirm this and paste it, and then it'll be on the outside right there. And I don't want to add anything on that side. There's a lot of open area right here, but that's okay. Maybe we can just honestly just leave it the way it is. And but we need to add something here, and I don't know exactly what. Maybe it'd be a rail, but it seems like we're adding a ton of those. Maybe I'll look in the terrain that we have. Ooh, but I almost don't like, I kind of don't like this L-shaped ledge there. It just kind of covers up the area. I don't know, I don't like that really. I'm gonna leave that, but I do like this hump right here. So maybe we can do these floating ledges or something like that. I think that would be, oh, like right here on this side. Yeah, that'll be a lot. I just like this a little bit better. So yeah, we'll use these, and I'll probably just do two of them separated. So then I'm gonna turn this to a wide ledge, lower this down, and what we can do then is lower it, turn snapping off, and then we're basically just going to duplicate it. So we'll have one almost like, feel like it needs to be kind of midway, and doesn't need to be super high, but don't want to be super tall. We'll duplicate it at the same height, and then we'll move it on this side over here. So there we go, we have that. So there's a lot of ledges to hit, and it's feeling like starting to get a little bit close. But this section over here though, I almost want to move it up, and of course though, everything is not going to want to move. Well, I guess it will. So we have snapping off, so I'm going to move this stuff up a little bit so it's a little bit closer. That looks pretty good. And now there's not much else I want to do besides some detail work. I mean, obviously there's going to be, you know, that we got this little empty area right here that we got to work with. So why don't we add either another quarter pipe or something, or we can maybe extend this thing out. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. So I'm going to duplicate this, and hopefully maybe this will snap on. If not, I can, what does this piece do? So I don't need this piece. Yeah. So maybe this will snap on there. Oh yeah, it does. There we go. So then we'll have that section go together. And now we do got to cover up this area, but we can maybe try to use this small quarter pipe to cover up the transition. But then it's a little bit too big. So what we can do is just use a normal ramp. I'm thinking just the double side. Yeah, there we go. So we can just raise it up a little bit and continue it out. There we go. And we can either extend it out or leave it the way it is. And I'm thinking that's the best way to go. Yeah, that'll look really cool. And then what we can do is add a rail on the outside. And I'm thinking just this little fancy rail. So you could still maybe skate it or something, but I just want to add this on this out part right here. There we go. And I wish I could, if I had merged, I would make a gap in the middle here, but unfortunately we don't, so it's just going to be the way it is. And I'm actually going to duplicate one of these pieces, or highlight it, duplicate it, and then I'm going to extend this out a little bit so we have something to kind of, I don't know, like again, on the other side, we need kind of like a quarter pipe or a ledge or something to skate. So we're going to leave it the way it is in the center right there. So we did do a lot in this episode. I realized we kind of built a decent amount, and I think that's going to be the majority of the park. I'm just going to skate some of the stuff, test it out, see how it does. But this is a really big park for like a street area. There's also this whole side area right here where we could do like that transition area that I was talking about, where there'd be some like gaps or whatever it may be. Something we'll be able to do. And I don't know, that one ledge doesn't even look like it'll be really skatable, but nonetheless, so this ledge does, and that'll be cool. Obviously that one would skate. I mean, that's a pre-made ledge in the game. That'll skate no problem. But see right there, see how that kind of skated like a quarter pipe. It wasn't the best right there, but I'm glad we took out that L-shaped part because it really does open it up. So that ledge obviously skates well, and I think this is probably my favorite, where you're able to kind of transition into the half pipe. I know it's something that's basic, but it does skate well, which I'm a fan of. And oh, I wish I was trying to get to the side. Then we have this thing you can kind of get out of right there. Still the street area. I don't know if I did this in an episode, but I love skating this area over here where you kind of have a little bit of a quarter pipe, and then you also have this, and I was able to kind of do like a little bit of a blunt slide and then transition into like do a power slide into a blunt slide. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I don't know if it'll do it. Yes, you can do those first try. At least I was able to, so that's really cool. And there's just this park's just spaced out in some areas that I don't like as I'm skating it right now. So this area definitely needs to be fixed because you kind of skate up and you can't really skate that unless I built that ledge out a little bit, which that might fix it. Well, that was just a crappy alley right there. So I think this one, I can do that real quick and just extend this ledge out. So we'll just turn it to the large setting, and then it should snap together. Same thing on this side. Oh, and it didn't do it exactly. It doesn't make any sense. So it'll snap on, but it won't do it like perfect. So that makes totally a lot of sense. Okay, there we go. And we'll do the same thing on this side as well. Make sure it snaps. Awesome. That's looking a little bit better. So you can skate off of it, either gap into the ground, whatever it may be, and then you still have this area where it can go down. Maybe I add like a little bit of a ledge, skate over that section, and maybe add like a fire hydrant or something. I don't know. Ooh, that's so that you're able to go to kind of like a transition or just a grind right there, no problem. And yeah, that's going good. This is skating somewhat decent. Ooh, I want to try this piece right here. Ooh, that'll be really cool. And I like the challenge of being really skinny, and I love it that there's a picnic table right there, so it's kind of awkwardly in the middle. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, same thing, skate into the vert ramp. So it's pretty good. It's again very different than my normal parks, and it is obviously, you know, it's a very big park, and it is kind of more size for not necessarily the most hardcore thing, but I still do kind of enjoy it, and for what it is, I think it is a fun park so far. And I think definitely there'll be a part 5, and it might just be going over some details and whatnot, finishing up the corner, and then we can just finish off the details, and then yeah, that'll be kind of it for this series. And so far it's a great park, and we're almost nearing completion. I'd say it's about like 65-70% done. Just fill up a little bit of some details to give it some color to the park, fix up the surrounding areas around it, and we'll have a finished park if I've ever seen one. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you click that like button, and anyways, take it easy guys. Peace.